This is On Air with BingX.
Sorry, I'm muted. Hello and welcome to another episode of BingX On Air. My name is Tony and it's been a pleasure to be once again on this session representing BingX. And today we have like a fellow co-host from BingX as well, and we have Jeremy on board. Hi.
Okay. Hello everyone. Nice to meet you.
Hey everyone.
Yeah, hi. And then of course, last but not least, today's session is about a very unique Solana-based meme coin known as the EPIK Duck. And we are very pleased to welcome and to invite our special guest for tonight, which is Mando, who is the EPIK Duck or the EPIK Duck creator. Hello.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks for having me. I like that music, got me pumped up. But yeah, it's good to be here. And I saw you guys listed us last week, so I reached out and I thought it'd be cool to do a space like this.
Yeah, definitely. I think other than the video aspect, we can certainly expect more collaboration with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay. So before we begin, right, I would maybe just for the sake of your audience, maybe you could make a quick introduction about yourself and maybe like how do you come about like in the Web3 space? Maybe a quick introduction about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So I have been in the space for about 3 years now. I was originally a trader or at like various different Wall Street banks, and then quit my job 3 years ago. Got into known as a trader in the space, mainly in the NFT space, and then I host regular spaces as well. So like I host a daily show and a couple of different weekly shows. So I got well known as like a content creator in the space, just around trading in crypto and NFTs, and then memes have come up pretty fast over the last few months, and that's kind of how the origin story of EPIK Duck even happened.
Awesome, and yeah, that's pretty interesting. So I think throughout this whole session, it will be a good opportunity for us to get to learn about your creation, which is EPIK. So yeah, without further ado, maybe let's get started with the session. So Mando, maybe you could tell us the whole story behind the EPIK Duck and how did the idea originate and evolve into what it is today?
Yeah, so I think it's slightly different than maybe other meme coins because it started really as a joke. Like it didn't start as pre-planned in any sort of way. So I was on a live stream very similar to this with another well-known trader in the space called Keyboard Monkey, and we were talking about different meme coins and how they're all just ducks. Sorry, they're all just cats or dogs. And I was like, well, maybe we should do a different one. And I don't know if you guys are familiar. Are you familiar with the platform pump.fun? It's like they launched kind of in January or February, and it's a platform where people fair launch meme coins, right? Like there's no pre-sale, the LP gets burned. They're as fair as a launch as you can get. And so I literally, during a live stream, I just went onto pump.fun and I remembered a meme when I was growing up, which, when 2008, 2009, which was related to Roblox. I didn't know it was Roblox at the time, but it was like a gaming meme, which is about this duck called To EPIK Duck or just EPIK Duck. And you'd always see it in like gaming, like be like the EPIK Duck is coming. And it was like a fun meme. And I was like, I wonder if anyone's done this. And no one had done it on pump.fun. And they've done hundreds of thousands of coins before. So I was like, I literally clicked about 4 buttons. I was like, I put a picture of the duck. I said EPIK Duck, and I just clicked create. And then within about 5 minutes, it was at $1 million FTV. Like it just flew.
Wow.
And then within an hour, it hit $25 million. Just because a lot of people were on this live stream with me, and it just went absolutely crazy. And I'm relatively well known in the space, or at least I'm not a nobody. So then I was like freaking out because I was like, what have I just done here? So when I originally actually created the coin, they asked for me to like put in some Solana so that I wouldn't get botted. So I put in 4 Sol, and I think maybe 5 or like 4.5 or something like that. And that meant I had 15% of the supply. So then I freaked out and was like, right, I'm just going to burn the supply so that no one thinks I did this to try and like make like crazy money. And And then since then, it went from 25 million down to like 2 million, then up to 20, down to 8, and now it's gone all the way up to like 30. It hit a high of about 50. But it's a proper fair launch. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a lot of these meme coins that we see recently. They launch at 100 million. You know, they launch at 150, and you're like, oh, you know, like, this is another like, you know, Cabal style launch that I couldn't even get part of, or it's moved way too quickly. This has been slightly different. It's far more fair. Like, the way that Pump.Fun is, we're now the second highest Pump.Fun coin ever after Sharkcat, I think it is. But these sorts of coins, they're much more fair. They don't have these like crazy rises up to 100 million straight away. They kind of gradually get up there. So it's been a bit more of a ground up, like, community-led project. Obviously, the community have helped come on board, because I didn't take in a bunch of Solana at the start. Like, this wasn't a pre-sale where I raised millions. So we have like different people on the social media, different people as mods, different people helping creating content for us. The website, we've got some games. I don't know if you've ever been onto the website, but epicduckcoin.com. It's a great website for you to check out. And I've just been kind of, I would say, shepherding it, or I've been referred to as Duck Jesus, to try and get this thing, give it life. And we got listed by a few different exchanges last week, including BingX. And immediately I saw what I've really seen is like a huge community in Asia of like love the duck. So like we have a China Telegram, we have a WeChat, we have Chinese mods for all of that, to try and like help build it. And that's been like super useful, like to get on board like an Asia community, or at least a Mandarin speaking community. And then I saw like BingX has been huge in volume, so I was like, well, you know, I need to get my face out here a bit more, and speak to you guys. So yeah, that's kind of the story of it. It's a meme coin, which I think some people have issues with, but at the same time, I think this is one of the cleanest ones you've seen for a long, long time. Like, it's really built from the ground up.
For sure.
Yeah.
I agree as well, because there's a lot of pre-sale ones, and those, you know, sometimes goes well, sometimes doesn't. And it could be a mess sometimes as well. So yeah, I'm glad to see, you know, having a clean launch and totally fair launch as well.
Yeah, like there was all those recent ones, right? Like, I think, you know, hundreds of millions have been basically taken into these pre-sales, and Pump.Fun's very different. Like, it's none of that. They're not the perfect scenario. Like, some people do like bot it and stuff like that. But I mean, mine was there for like 5 minutes. There was no real time to get a bot team to get involved in this. So yeah, it's just kind of been a crazy ride since then. And yeah, I know you're part of like the Rug Radio Asia team, like you just said. So they've been really supportive. Like, they've been helping like provide you know, just like boots on the ground in various different places, which have been super useful. But yeah, but that's basically the story. And I hope it continues to be active for you guys.
Interesting. So I just have one question before I move on to the next. So you mentioned that the idea of the duck itself is derived from the gaming community. Am I right?
Yeah, correct.
So like, yeah. So for this kind of like meme, for the sake of like those non-gamers, like communities from BingX, would you like to share like maybe which kind of games you know, people frequently use this duck meme? So
it's from Roblox, right? It's actually from Roblox. The actual meme it's old as well. It's a 2009 meme. So like it was actually created the same year that Bitcoin was created. This is kind of been around for a long time. And it didn't go like, you can't play this duck in like loads of different things, but it's basically a rubber, or it's basically a gaming duck. So like a lot of, they are frequent in various different games. And one thing I've realized as well is that like people love rubber ducks throughout the whole world, or just ducks. Like the amount of people that have come to me with different duck events, like rubber duck festivals, rubber duck races, like there's a big duck community, it seems, that I've like awoken with this thing. So yeah, it is originally from Roblox. but actually it's kind of universal. That's why I think it's done well. It's because it's super simple. It's just like you can kind of put the duck in any scenario and it kind of works. Kind of like dog with hat. It's like it just works because it's very, very simple and people identify with it very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. And I think one of the best thing that happens to Memecoin and its community is that it gives a very fun factor. And given that Web3 is community, is like communal, like driven, right? So it gives like everyone in the Web3 space an opportunity to relate, themselves to a meme that they hold dear to. And then like definitely like the EPIK Duck, for instance, I've even seen it on movies. Like example, in John Wick, there's a very like interesting scene where he was in the bathtub and then with a rubber duck on top. So yeah, definitely this is a very interesting like concept, and the meme itself is definitely like very familiar to a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's why it's worked, is that it is originally a Roblox meme, but actually you see this sort of thing everywhere. Like there's like a big inflatable rubber duck. Actually, the biggest inflatable rubber duck like travels the world. It's been to like Hong Kong, Dubai. It's now doing a tour of all the different US cities. But like people keep on putting photos of that related to it as well. So yeah, I think that's what we have in our favor massively. Is like this isn't just some random cartoon drawn by somebody. It's like it's just something that you might even see in everyday life. So people identify with it pretty quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And I think just based on hearing all this, I think the potential for EPIK Duck is certainly immense. And I could see that there's a lot of like angle and waypoint for you guys to navigate through the marketing space. Yeah, so looking forward. Okay, so moving on to the next question, right, that I have. So you do previously mention in the self-introduction that you were in the space, you were a trader. So after you have like, you literally create like a meme coin yourself right now. So you are considered like a project owner. So how has life been after launching a meme coin, and what have been the biggest challenges and successes that you have faced so far?
I would say don't do it unless you're really, really prepared to do it, man. Like I was not prepared for this. And I have a bunch of other things that I do in this space. Like this was not something that I needed. It just kind of happened. And that's been ever since then. The other thing about with meme coins, right? Like with a lot of influencer meme coins, they're just rugs. Like they take money and you never see it again. And that person just like fades away or comes back even with another like rug slightly later. This was very different. Like I didn't get any money for this. Like I didn't sit there with like with somebody. So everything that I built out has been from my own funding. So it's got a different sort of involvement with it. At the same time, like it was very tough for the first 48 hours, like because I had to build out the website, get the team in place. People FUD this sort of stuff because it's like, oh, another influencer meme coin. I was like, no, like this isn't like that. I've tried to do it differently. But now it's been slightly easier because I think people are identifying with it more and more. It's fun. It's not, they're getting the chart itself isn't just like I said, it's not just one of these ones that goes instantly to 200 million and then dumps for the rest, over the next few months. It's really like been slowly going up like steps. So people can tell it's not just like an insider thing. And people have helped me in various different things. So like I said, the community helped create the website. The community helps with a lot of the content, the managing of the social media, the managing of the telegrams. So for me now, it's progressively. It's for me, it's doing stuff like this. It's like getting the word out a bit more rather than necessarily having to manage it as much, and trying to help with things like listings or trying to help with campaigns and trying to get it a bit more. So people hear about it a bit more, but at the end of the day, like this has to survive away from me as well. Like this, I think it's a really good meme, and it's like I said, it's universal, and I think it's now getting to that stage where it can be very strong by itself as well.
Certainly, and given the meteoric rise of like Solana-based Bitcoin ever since last year, I would say that it's certainly like you need to have the X factor to stand out from like the hordes of like different meme coins. And the EPIK Duck definitely has ring a bell to many, which is why, you know, your life has sort of transformed for the better. Even though, no, I know it's tiring and exhausting, but it's definitely a legacy that you will never forget. And it's an experience that you enjoy. I truly believe that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with it. Like I've actually, like I said, it's become easier since, and I've enjoyed it more actually. Like more recently, like I wake up and it's still tough. Like this thing it's tough to manage, and obviously the price is volatile, and it's not the easiest thing for like people to like. If you define your success on the price of something, it can sometimes be very, very tough. But at the same time, like it has been more fun to manage. And I think as well for me, it was more a reputation thing as well. Like I wanted to make sure people just didn't think that I just created this thing that was going to be a net negative on the space. Like I'm glad that it's now become something, and it's, you know, I think people will view it positively over time.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. I mean, compared to the past, let's say in 2017, where there were meme coins like Doge, but it wasn't as widely like adopted by the community. Yeah, so they will feel like, because back then communities were like, oh, I need utility, I need this and that. But these days people have matured, like the whole community has matured, and they have like found something that is way beyond just trading. You know, it's about the experience that the project owner can deliver to the token holders and users. So I think this is where meme coin could come in to add some spice to the whole Web3 space. So
I'm a big fan of meme coins in general. Like I do think I think that they can be done badly and they can be done well. But I do think that they're probably here to stay. Like I can imagine they've done well for adoption this cycle. We need better versions of them. And I actually quite like Pump.fun because they are more fair. Like you're not sitting there with this, like, at the moment it feels as though you can be, particularly for people who are here like more retail, they can always feel they're late to these sort of things, and that like they're buying it like secondhand, and you just never really know if you're like somebody else's exit. Whereas I feel like when they're done more fairly, everyone has a decent enough chance and they can buy into this concept a bit more.
It's also pretty accessible, right? Because anyone can launch it. You don't really need coding knowledge, and everything is pretty easy to get to. So I personally really like Pump.fun as well. So
I'm not a dev.
I'm glad to see someone, you know, super successful on that platform and striving as well.
I think you'll see more and more people do it this way. Honestly I hope that they do, even if it's not Pump.fun, but like this sort of concept of more fair launches. I think they create stronger, better communities as well.
Yeah, certainly. I do agree with that. So since we are talking about this topic, I would like to ask you the next question. So from the inception to the launch of EPIK Duck, how long did it take for it to go from a joke to a tangible project?
It had to be pretty quick, if I'm honest.
How quick is that?
Like in the first 5 minutes when it hit $1 million, I was like, oh my God, like I've got to do something here, because suddenly I realized that my name was going to be attached to this. And it was going to go up and down, up and down. And so within the first 5 minutes, I really realized, you know, I had to, it was no longer a joke. And then now it's becoming more of a joke. You know, I think once you now can save it and make it seem like it's real, which it is, then now it can be more fun. And, you know, we have a lot of fun with the Twitter account. We have a lot of fun like making content every single day. So yeah, I think it's now becoming more of a joke again, which I enjoy.
Yeah, and like together with the communities, you can get to see even more creative artworks or even animation going forward that revolves around the EPIK Duck. So yeah, so for anyone that's like interested to know more, and if you are also into the rubber duck, feel free to check out the link later in the comment section below. So so talking about this aspect, because you mentioned it took about 5 minutes to complete the fair launch, right? So prior to this, like how long do you roughly take? I know it can't really be calculated like that simply, but how long roughly do you think that it takes from you to start like the idea to like introducing this project to the prospective like investors of your token? Like
so
marketing.
I think part of that is an interesting one, because a lot of the other coins are either they do like a very small pre-sale, so they'll get like, I don't know, 20 sol in just so they can do the dev work behind it, or they can create the initial liquidity pool, because you need like a liquidity pool to get things going. The way that pump.fun works is the first $75,000 basically goes into or like a first proportion of the supply goes into the liquidity pool as standard. It's about like 1 to 2% of the supply. So normally with other meme coins, like the dev work was increasingly quick. Like you can create your own Solana meme coin pretty quickly, but you had to pre-fund it. And so often that pre-funding meant you had pre-sales, and you had very similar sort of things where like people would just take money and run away with it rather than actually like launching the coin. So it was always a bit more dangerous. So what I would say is it perhaps hasn't made it that much quicker. It's just made it more standardized and a little less dangerous for everyone involved. Like the dev doesn't walk away with whatever pre-sale he took. And there's also like, because this token is actually standardized the way that they do it, like you're not worried about like a honeypot or like these ways that they can, I don't know, like somebody basically rugging you in a different way, or for stealing your funds. So it's just made it safer, I think, for people. Although you did see, like, for example, the big meme coins that you saw recently with Pepe, both of those I think did very, very small pre-sales potentially, but they weren't really known about. Like you could have bought both of those at like 100 to 200K, but that was before this market. Like this market, Whiff and Pepe just don't really happen. Like because
wait, do you trade Pepe as well?
Oh yeah. I've been big in memes for a long time, like a long time.
Wow.
But what I mean is they don't happen because right now, like when a meme coin launches right now, it launches at $50 million. Like it just, it just boom. Because there's often big teams behind it, and they've raised with funds, or they've got they've got people on board to help push it. So that isn't that fair for retail either. Like that's not that fair for people. Even if you're early, a lot of the time these things go to 50 or 100, and then they just die and go to zero. So it can be even worse in those sort of scenarios. So
sustainability is pretty important.
Yeah. So I do think and we'll see more of it. We'll see. I think as people get hurt more and more, then it will come back.
Certainly, I do agree with you. So we know that you are deeply involved in trading meme coins like Pepe and other like top meme coins, right? And are immersed in the meme culture. So just now we spoke about all this. So how do you plan to sustain the EPIK Duck like culture or the meme coin culture in general?
Well, I think it's a range of different things, right? Like this is still an OG meme, which I like. Like it's not something that I made up yesterday. It's not just like some random. This is a meme from 15 years ago, so it's not like it's gone away anywhere, and it's still being used. But then, secondly, I think the main benefit that we have versus other things is that it's very easy to create content around a rubber duck or like a fun duck like this. Like a lot of our community members create content for us, and it's very, like I said, it's very easy for people to like see it in everyday life or like see things related to it. So that is really helpful because it just stays in current affairs. Like I don't need to create some like crazy meme video every 2 minutes because like people are constantly throwing me rubber duck content in relation to the meme coin. So like I think it can stay relevant because it is just something that people see a lot. And just like with the dog with hat, like they just started putting hats on things, right? They just started putting hats on things, and that's what made it relevant. This is just a duck. It's a rubber duck, which people see a lot. Like you'd be very, very surprised at how much this comes up in people's lives. So for me, and we built actually like an AR filter for it as well. So if you go onto our Twitter as well, like you can like put links directly to your phone, and you can have like the duck in any sort of room with you. We've got a competition going right now to like where you can see the duck in different places. And I just think, it's going to be that bit of it. I think it's going to be relatively easy. And then we have like a whole team behind the Twitter. So I think we've done like 5 million impressions now in the lot. Wow. This meme is only 20 days old, right? So like it's really taken off. So that X account has taken off, and then it's the Telegrams, it's the WeChat, it's various different ways that we can try and make it happen in terms of like those different social media apps or messaging apps that we can help build a community around it. And also, like, I'm kind of here a lot, like I do daily podcasts, I do daily shows. I'm not a nobody, so I think there's some part of it is also that I'm doing shows like this, and I can continue to like make sure it's known about.
Definitely. And may I share some of my 2 cents about like what I envision?
Yeah, sure. Tell me.
Yeah, because like the character itself, Duck, is so like, basically the possibilities are endless. I think one of the more immediate stuff that I can think of is like maybe you can create a storyline about the EPIK Duck. Maybe the EPIK Duck has a girlfriend, or maybe the EPIK Duck is in different like world settings, or some like, I don't know, like these days, in Hollywood people talk about multiverse. So I think like definitely the possibilities are endless, but I think having a storyline behind it. Yeah.
The EPIK Duck does have a girlfriend. It's Sydney Sweeney. Oh. He's dating Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
We're only following 2 people on X, and one of them is Sydney Sweeney. So there is some content around that.
Is she on blockchain yet?
She knows about the ducks, so I don't know. Maybe she will. But yeah, awesome, that's like regular content. Yeah, but this sort of stuff is easy, right? Like, we've got all of that going, like storylines. He's kind of a degenerate duck, let's put it that way. So there's lots of stuff around that.
Definitely. Sorry. Jeremy, would you like to ask Mando for other questions?
Yeah, glad to see that it's not just cats and dogs. We can have ducks everywhere as well. And was thinking, well, since there's a lot of projects, especially meme coins, that kind of lose momentum after the initial hype, what ideas or strategies do you have in mind to sort of deploy and maintain to continue this momentum post-launch?
So I think part of that is based on the price, right? Like recently you've seen a meme coin and they go to 200 million, and then everyone realizes they're not really that organic at all. That they don't really have a community apart from people who just care about the price of it, and they don't really have any original content, or they don't really seem like, I don't relate to it in any sort of way. Like I feel half of the meme coins I even see right now, which are above 100 million, I don't really see anyone really identifying with them. Whereas I feel like here it's slightly different. Like it's been hanging out around 20 million now or 30 million now for 20 days, or 20 to 30 million. And people have really picked up on it from the grassroots. Like it's not just been, we're all wealthy. There are some people who've made money in this thing. You can even see from the top traders, like not that many people are sitting here like as millionaires. They're building content, they're building community around it. So I think it's going to be more grassroots than some of the others. Like we're not sitting there at 200 million being like, oh God, like we need to work out how to actually make this into a thing. It's kind of being built from the ground up in that sort of sense. So it does have to stay relevant. We're obviously going to keep the like the social media accounts relevant in the same way that we had. But I also, what I like about this is that it's felt increasingly like people are also identifying with it and going to do stuff with it. So I'll just help guide that really and help promote that.
Yeah, glad to see it's not like a one-off thing, because as you mentioned earlier as well, like a lot of meme coins projects, they call it a project, but well, what's down the line, right? They don't really have stuff down the line, and they don't really care to really maintain their community. They just say, just kind of shit post whatever every day. That's
still important. That's still important, but you have to have good quality of it. You have to have good quality of it, and also think need to like needs to be the community.
Not just putting not just putting a hat over something and hey, there's my post for the day.
It's about the 4.5 billion. You'd be surprised. Simple stuff can still work.
I know. But yeah, I'm glad to see there's continuous development. And since we're on that topic, what steps are you planning to take for the EPIK Duck? Any upcoming developments or partnerships you can perhaps share with us?
Well, in the next, I mean, this is really on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. I haven't got like a 6-month plan, but at the same time, like over the last month, we have set up the social media. We've now got 10,000 followers. We've got over 10,000 holders. We've got 30 million market cap. We've got a website. We're creating games. So we're creating like a duck version of we've created a duck version of Pac-Man called Quackman, which we were going to be releasing over the next few days. We had a previous game already, which we did like rewards for, which like has been successful. So we're going to do like different games just to keep like the community engaged in that sort of way. We're obviously going to be going for like different activations in terms of listings and partnerships with different exchanges just to get the word out. Content creation, things like competitions around this sort of content creation, I think will be useful. But I think in particular, like making it so that the community engages in creating that themselves as well, which I think is super important. We brought on a different like market maker, which was very important for like the project. And yeah, like I guess the IRL activations is the big question. Like I've been in contact with that massive duck, which is doing the rounds around the world. But I don't know if they're like super crypto happy, so they may have to be like unofficial things around that. But there are so many different duck events around the world, you'd be surprised. Like there's like rubber duck races in London, in Hong Kong, in Chicago, very, very big ones. So we might look to do some stuff around that as well.
That's very interesting. And I mean, I guess this also contributes down the line where you are trying to attract more people, build your community, and attract more investors to go on with that, right?
I'm just trying to get the word out, really. Yeah, I'm trying to get the word out. We've built more than most. I actually think we've done more than pretty much every one of the recent meme coins that I've seen. So now it's just about like getting people to see it as much as possible, and then I think they'll realize that it's got more to it than others.
So quick question. I see a lot of comments saying duck to a buck.
Duck to a buck, man.
Duck to a buck. How did that come about?
I mean, that's just epic. That is the core of our marketing, to be honest. That I didn't even come up with that. The community came up with that themselves. So yeah, that's like one of our taglines, duck to a buck. That is a 30x from here. So we're trading at 3 cents, I think, right now. So a buck is 30x away. I obviously burnt the development supply. So that would be around $850 million if we got there, which would be crazy, absolutely insane. But yeah, that's what always comes up. Duck to a buck.
Duck to a buck. Gotcha. And well, a bit more technical, revolving around launching on Solana, because I understand launching on Pump.Fun technically means launching on Solana as well.
Yeah.
But what sort of advantages do you see compared to launching on, for example, Ethereum? Like, how does it also contribute to the vision and goals, if any?
Yeah, I think this cycle, Solana's just like dominated the meme coin trading thing. Sure. So I didn't again, this wasn't like some strategy where I was like, I think I'm going to launch a Solana based meme coin. I just knew that Pump.Fun, you could do this sort of stuff for fun, and it was on Solana. So, but now that I'm on Solana, like, I don't think I would be anywhere else. Like the vast majority of the volume's there. All the users are there. It's had a tough, when I first launched this coin, Solana was trading at 205, right? Like, so it hasn't been the best time to launch a Solana-based meme coin. Everything on Solana and all the Solana meme coins are down a lot over the course of this period. And so the idea that we even managed to get this to the level, I think is strong, particularly because it wasn't, this wasn't some cabal who's taken this to 100 million, 200 million. This has been really from grassroots. But now I still think I'm super bullish on Solana. Like I think it's going to be a big narrative for many years. Like I think they've done very well building it out, and I think just the way that you transact as well really helps for meme coins. I like it being on the L1. I like the cheap transactions, fast transactions. Again, over the last month, we've had big issues around that as well. So it hasn't been the best time to have this, but
congestion.
yeah, exactly. So like, it was not a good time to launch. If I launched this 6 months ago, who knows what EPIK would be? Like, it could be #1 or something. Like, if it had been done correctly. Yeah, I came obviously late to the Solana meme coin trend. This wasn't planned, but now that we're here, I still think it's still in a good spot.
Have you previously been a Solana user, or if not, which other L1 we're using?
Oh, dude, I'm a big Solana user. Yeah. I've been dancing around in Solana meme coins for a long time now. This has just been. I mean, I fully kind of shifted to trading of these instead of altcoins, and that's where I've been putting the vast majority of my trading as well. So. Yeah, I'm a big trader of these sort of memes as well.
Tony, did you have something to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, like, just looking forward. Like, I'm actually scrolling through the website now, and it's like
you gotta press yes. Did you press yes?
Yeah, but there's a sound. Yeah, so
yeah, the music.
I'll just do it later. I'll just try it out later after the stream. Yeah,
the music plays out loud. Like, again, we didn't create that. Like, a community member came to us a couple of days in, and they were like, "Hey, I made this website for you," and they gave it to us, and we were like, "Okay, this is awesome!" Like, and then we built it out since then. Like, it was I guess it was a less detailed version, but then we've built it out all since then.
Yeah, it's still fun loving, and it aligns with the DGen, like
Yeah. The music is our music.
No.
Yeah, it is.
I clicked.
Whenever I did a space with the founder of Pump.Fun yesterday, and I was playing that music as people came into the space, because that's now I like it is so addictive. We actually, for the game, we have a version of Snake. Do you remember Snake on like Nokia? So you can play Snake. You can play Snake with ducks on the website now. If you hit the game button, it takes you to a version of Snake with ducks, and the music plays for that. And honestly, I just like slept to that music for many days. Like it really gets into your skin.
It's addictive, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So without further ado, I guess we are already towards the 30 odd minutes towards the stream. So I have like a final question for you, Mando. So going forward, like, how do you envision the future of meme coins within the Web3 space, in particular, like the mainstream adoption and acceptance? Given that the bull run is coming, like even institutions are coming, what do you think what happen to meme coins in the coming months and years?
I think they're going to do really well. I don't think you can't, as a sector, I think they are a very good onboarding tool for a lot of people in crypto. I think not all of them will do well. Like, this is still going to be a lot of things that go to zero or like never really come back. And you got to be very, very careful if you're coming to this space as like a new user of what I just said. Like, you could very easily be somebody else's exit liquidity, because it's becoming more sophisticated how people are entering into the space. Like, you're starting to see big funds, big like dev groups, often like linked to like well-connected, who are coming in and launching a coin, and it's immediately at 200 million, and then it'll slowly bleed out over the course of like the next 3 years. And you've got to be very, very careful of actually buying good quality stories, I think. But as a sector, I do think it's going to be very, very big. Like, I do. I don't, at this exact moment, it's still a little bit, it's because some of the big ones of this cycle, Whiff and Pepe's still doing okay, but some of the big meme coins haven't really, they're still pretty stagnating, and they've kind of gone down recently. The whole space doesn't feel that amazing. There've been some interesting stories like out of Asia. Like, we've had like Popcat's done like super well, which I know has a big Asia community, and then you have Maneki, which has been this one that even this week that just hit like 250 million. So like it does feel like Age is getting into this space like very, very big and starting to dominate it. So maybe we see like a refresh of the space because of that. But at this exact moment, I think we probably do need a little bit of like consolidation. And you know, I'm not saying that this is going to duck to a buck is going to happen like next week. Like I do think this is going to be something that could take a little bit of time to like really catch on, just because I think the overall period for Solana meme coins hasn't been that strong over the last month. It's actually been pretty horrific for a lot of coins. So apart from these one-off stories, a lot of them coming out of Asia. So I think we're probably in for a little bit more time of that. But as a space, I think you're going to see a lot more money come into meme coins, because all the money that's in altcoins right now, I think, is now starting to get a little bit frustrated. And I think a lot of that will start moving into meme coins.
I mean, a lot of people might also see meme coins equal altcoins as well.
Exactly.
Gradually.
Yeah. So a lot of this stuff, like a lot of the altcoin narratives, are basically meme coin narratives. Like they don't really have users. They're just a meme of value. Like if someone tells me an AI coin is valuable, I don't see many users of a lot of the AI technologies. You're really just buying the meme of crypto AI, right? Like you're buying that it will, this is going to be valuable, or someone might buy it because it's called AI. So I think a lot of these altcoin narratives are really, right now at least, because they don't have users, are really also meme coin narratives, and people are starting to see that because the tokenomics are often much cleaner, and you get these sort of parabolic moves often with meme coins because they can get listed, and like when they get listed, they get more people involved, and they can keep on going higher. That's how WIF kind of had that crazy run. That I think people are increasingly throwing in the towel and being like, yeah, meme coins are going to be here to stay. But I think over the next few weeks, we're probably still going to have a little bit of pain in meme coins. I think I don't unless WIF really goes back to $4 or something like that, which I don't necessarily see. I think we could probably see a little bit of like consolidation.
Thanks for your insight. I mean, that was we couldn't say that before because meme coin analysts are like memed upon, right? Like they're
exactly.
like, oh, are you charting a meme coin? Like, what is that? But now I could say, hey, great analysis. Thanks for your insights.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're starting to see lots of people now just throwing in the towel and being sophisticated meme coin investors.
Exactly. Yeah, I had a great time chatting and listening to the EPIK journey.
Dude, thanks so much, and thanks for listing us. It's been great to see the volume coming out of the exchange, and I know Dudu, who's like who's close to the team. He mentioned that you guys were supportive, and I just thought, yeah, we should definitely do this. So let's see. Maybe I'll come back on when we hit a buck.
Yeah, definitely. Like we could do like spaces, I think, or even offline event. Maybe with like not much.
Yeah, dude. I'm based in Europe. I'm based in Lisbon, but I do travel a lot. I go to a lot of the different conferences, so maybe something around that.
Yeah, certainly. So thank you once again, Mando, for your time. And I believe like it's going to be like your evening soon. So have a great day, have a great weekend, and do get some drink. Yeah.
Have a good night, boys.
Yeah.
Enjoy Friday night.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Speak to you soon.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Speak to you soon. Bye.
Thank you.